Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another lesson that I'll be teaching you during this time. And last time was the greater than, less than, or equal to with the alligators, as we discussed. If you want to, you can go back and refer to that video. Try that review sheet. Try those games. Ask for a parent for them to create. It's a free username and password. Just log in, and then you'll be able to play those games. And I feel like those are very helpful for you to solidify and get better at the previous lesson. But now we are going to be able to do something that we do every single day. It's something that I'm doing right now and something that I've done for the past 1,000,000 times in my entire life, and that's telling time. So you probably haven't seen these types of clocks anymore, as you can see on the screen, as you're seeing more digital clocks, which is the numbers on it and not actually what they call hands or arrows, which we'll talk about later. But it's always good to tell time, because when I was your age, we also had to do this topic, and there are times when there are clocks that will look like this and aren't digital, and you'll have to understand how to read it. Plus, you would make a fool of yourself in front of your friends, and that would not be good. All right, so let's go. Just a basic introduction to telling time. There's always two hands. And hands, when I mean hands, I mean the arrows. They look like this, basically. There's going to be two hands. One that looks like this, and one that looks like that. Now, the smaller one, which is the one on the left right here, that is the hour. That's the hour hand. That's what they call it. That one tells you the hour of the time. So if I say the time is, if you look on the left side of the screen, if I say the time is 4:49, 4:40, let's say. The hour is this number right here. So that small hand determines the number in the front on the left side. If you kind of divide them, it's the number on the left side. This is the minute hand, minute. Sorry, my M's not that perfect. Let me fix that. Perfect. The minute hand, which is basically the right side, which is represented by the 40. So I'm going to give you a basic lesson, and for now, let's not worry about the minute hand. Let's just worry about the hour hand. So if my hour hand was pointing, let's use the clock right now. If my hour hand was pointing right here, my hour hand was right there, I would say that it is 1 o'clock. It is the hour of 1. Let's say the hour of blank or blank, because we're not touching minutes right now, so we're just going to say it's the hour. So right now it's talking about the hour of 1 because it is pointing at the 1. Okay, sorry about that. There's a little issue with the eraser. So if I had that previous, you can go back to see that it was pointing at the 1. So we say it's the hour of 1. But what happens if we see a clock and the hands now in between two numbers? As I can see, you trace the dot, it's between the 7 and it's also between the 8. So how are we going to know which one it is? So here's my little trick. If it's in between two numbers, even if it's very close to one number, if it be like in this, let's go to the 9 and 10, if it could be this line or that line or very close to that line, you always go to the number that's less. Okay? You always want to go down. So in this scenario, we're going to the number that's less or down, which is the 7. So no matter what the minute is, the hour is 7, because since it's between the 7 and 8, 8 is a bigger number, so we go to the lesser number, and it's the hour of 7. So I'm going to clean this up, and then we're going to do another example. Okay, so I'm just going to give you another example. I'm going to pause for like 5 seconds for you to do it, for you to figure it out by yourself. So I'm going to draw one right here. Now I'm going to pause for like 5 seconds, or you could pause this video and we're going to reveal the answer. So I'll give you 5 seconds to figure it out. Okay, so if we track the arrow, we see that it is between the numbers of 3 and the number 4. Now, as we said before with the 7 and 8, we have to go to the lower number. So, since it's between 4 and 3, as we know, 3 is a lower number since we did the greater than and less than, so we know that it has to go to the lower number, which is 3. So it is the hour of 3 in this scenario. So since we solidified the hour and telling of a clock, now we're going to have to put the minute factor and the bigger hand. So here we go. Okay. I changed the slide. I'm going to bring a new clock that could help you with your minutes. So now we're just going to use the minute hand. We're going to use a big hand. We're not going to use the hour hand or arrow. We're going to use the minute hand or the minute arrow. So as you can see, there's little orange numbers around the clock, as you can see over here with the 5, 10, 15, 20. And basically, that's because if I have a hand right here, let's say my big minute hand's like this, I'm not saying it's 6 minutes. It's 30 minutes. And as you get used to telling the clock and you're telling the time, you're going to have to memorize this. Okay, sorry, you're just going to see a little change in my sayings because my pencil dropped, so I had to pause the video. Very sorry about that. But as I was saying, you're going to be able to memorize the clock sooner or later. So if you're going to see the minute hand point at the number 10, you'll be able to realize that it's 50 minutes and not 10 minutes in that case. Okay. All right, let me erase that. All right, so we're going to do another scenario. In case the minute hand was pointing like this, I would say it's 5 minutes. So the right side would look like 0, 5. Another example. Figure this out. If I had the pointing like this, what would the right side look like? Exactly. The right side would look like 25 because it's 25. And as you get older and as you do this more often, you're going to be able to have it within your brain. The hour, it's pretty simple because this isn't on a clock, these numbers. You're going to have to know this. But as you get older, you'll be able to just recognize it. The hours are, so it's pretty easy for you to recognize it right now. But as you get older, yet again, the minutes, it's very complex. So I'm going to give you, now we're going to put the hour factor in it as well, along with the minutes. And then we're going to go through some examples. So, all right. So if I had, let's say, this time. Right here. And why not? Right there. Now, which hand, this one, which is arrow number 1 or hand number 1 or hand number 2, which one is my hour hand? Go back in the video, try to remember what the hour and minute hands are, and then answer it. All right, pause the video, backtrack, whatever. But number 1 is the hour hand. Because, as I said before, the hour hand is shorter or smaller than the minute hand. So since we know number 1's that, number 2 is that. So now we established that this is the hour hand. So where's the hour hand pointing? It's pointing at the 1, correct. So the left side's going to have a 1, right, when we write our time. And the minute hand, as you can see, it's easier now because there's minute numbers like here, but the minute's 45. So right now, if the clock was like that, it would be 1:45. So let's go look at a couple of examples that don't have the minutes on them. So if you were in a real life scenario and maybe your friend or your parents said, "Oh, what's the time on this clock?" you would be able to tell them. So let's get started. All right. So this is one of 3 examples, and now we always have to start when telling at a clock. Which one is the hour hand, and which one's the minute? Number 1 or number 2? Right, number 1, it's the smaller one. Perfect. So, where is the hour hand pointing at? Amazing. Number 3. Now we have to determine the minutes. So now go back to the previous slide, go back in the video, look back at your minutes, and see where the minute hand's pointing. So the minute hand's pointing at number 12. So what was the minutes at number 12? Good. Since you went back, you figured it out. The minutes, 0 minutes. So it just turned 3 o'clock. Beautiful. Amazing. Let's go to the next one. This clock. Now, 1, 2. Which one is the hour hand? Perfect. Number 2 is the hour hand. Where is number 2 pointing? Aha, exactly. Number 2 is between 2 numbers. Those 2 numbers are 9 and 8. So which one is going to be the hour? Which one are we going to write? Right up here. Exactly. We're going to write an 8 because 8 is less than 9. Perfect. Perfect. Amazing. I just need to erase some of the stuff. Okay. Perfect. I'm going to erase the numbers too. Alright, perfect. Now we have to deal with the minutes hand. So, the minutes hand is pointing at what? At 6. Perfect. And I just want to do another comment. You're never going to see a minute hand, the bigger one, point in between the numbers. Like how this one's in between 8 and 9, right here. You're never going to see a minute hand go in between 2 numbers. Not yet. Right now, the minute hands will always point at a number. And that's the introduction. Next year, we will dive into what happens if the minute hand goes in between. But right now, you do not need to worry about that. So, go back in your video, reference the 6, and what was the minutes at 6? Perfect. 30. The time here is 8:30. Amazing. All right. Time for one more. Okay, our last example. As we've been saying before, which one? This is a little bit hard because it's very hard to tell which one is shorter than the other. This one is very hard and tricky, and if you get this, I would be very impressed. So which one, number 1 and 2, is the minute hand? It's the hour hand at the smaller one. Perfect. Number 1. Good. And where is the hour hand pointing? Aha, a lot of confusion I hear. It's in between 4 and 5. So what would we write? Exactly, we would write a 4 because 4 is less than 5, and if it's in between 2 numbers, we always write the lesser number that's smaller. Perfect. Since 4 is smaller than 5 and 5 is bigger, we do not write the bigger number, we write the smaller number, 4. Perfect. Now, number 2, the minutes hand. Where's the minute hand pointing? Exactly, the number 11. Now, go back in the video, and you would realize that the minute hand is pointing at 55 minutes. Perfect. Okay. So watch this video a couple times. You reference the minute clock because I know the minutes can get tricky and you need to do it a lot of times until it gets into your head. So don't get frustrated if it's going to take you maybe 100 times in order for you to memorize it. But you just got to keep doing it over and over again, and you will memorize that if it's pointing at 9, it's 45 minutes, or if it's pointing at 8, it's 40 minutes. You just got to take your time with that. It's not going to come instantly. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. Use the 2 worksheets for reference. Practice. Keep practicing. I posted a game as well that your parents are also going to need to make a new account. It's for a different website. But again, it's free. It's simple. They just need to have their email address. And if they can't, then it's always fine. The worksheets are more than enough, and I will provide the answers to them, which you'll be able to see. So thank you very much for watching, and hopefully when one of your friends or parents or relatives ask you to tell the time, you'll be able to, and they'll be surprised. So stay safe, stay at home, and catch you guys in for the next video. Bye-bye.